Hi everyone, this is the LEGO City Advent Calendar for the year 2025. It's a pretty standard Advent Calendar in terms of its packaging, and I think this one offers a lot of value, much more than previous LEGO City Advent Calendars in past years. There's lots of stuff to be excited about, including the minifigures, which we got 7 in this set, including lots of ones that are exclusive. We'll look at that very soon. Here's a look at the back of the box, and as usual you open it from here as well as from here. So here's a look at the interior flap of the box before opening all of the boxes inside, just because that would make it more difficult to see. So essentially right after opening the first item, I'm recording this video to show you some of the interesting LEGO sets that they put here on the background, including the donut truck, the red sports car, the LEGO truck, which is my favorite set ever, and this tramway right here. We also have this helicopter from the mix and match from January 2025. So quite an interesting collection of Easter eggs right here. We also see this piece right here, which Santa probably forgot, and actually Santa himself is going through the chimney upside down, so that's pretty funny. So here's a look at what we got with this Advent Calendar overall. So a bunch of the builds here in the front, and I tried to organize them in a way that kind of makes sense, plus the minifigures here at the back. We actually got 7 minifigures in this set, plus this thing that's kind of like half a minifigure. This thing's a brick-built object, but it kind of looks like a minifigure, and these animal molds right here. So there's quite a lot of good stuff in this Advent Calendar, which makes me very happy. Now let's take a look at everything, starting with the kids. All of these minifigures are costume fans of one sort, with this being a polar bear costume fan, a reindeer costume fan, as well as a Christmas tree costume fan for the first time ever. And these are very nice minifigures to get. They're all exclusive to this set. I think this one's going to be the most memorable because it's just so unique. We've not seen anything like it before. All 3 of them have accessories as well as alternate expressions, as shown here, which is a good thing, but it also means that they cannot wear the helmets that are included in the set, and there's 2 of these. So for example, I'll just show you on one of the faces. If you put the helmet on this way, then this mouth is going to be exposed, and if you flip it around, then you're going to have the same problem. This is a surprising oversight by LEGO. I know I'm complaining a lot about this, but usually LEGO is much more careful about making sure that this helmet is only included in sets where it makes sense to do so. I'm all about minifigure safety, but I also think that LEGO needs to be more careful about not violating their own rules, especially when they're running competitions and they're strict about those rules. So you have to follow your own rules, right? So yeah, other than that, the minifigures themselves are great to get, and I'm not complaining about the alternate expressions. It's just that the helmets did not make sense in this case, or they could have given us alternative helmets that actually cover the full face. Or you could argue that this is actually a hard shell. You could pretend that this is a helmet, and so in this case the kids aren't protected. Which brings me to my next critique, that is the kids here are all lacking hair pieces. I would have liked to see some hair pieces like this one, for example, that we have for one of the female minifigures included for these guys, just to give a bit more flexibility and variety. Maybe it's too much to ask for an Advent Calendar. After all, they're giving us 7 minifigures in total, which is a very good number, much better than Star Wars or pretty much any other theme. So let's not complain too much. But yeah, the first 3 minifigures are great. The next 2 minifigures are not that bad either, so these possibly represent the parents of those kids. And I do like the ugly Christmas sweaters, especially the one with the classic space. So that's definitely something that I'd love to see. There's no side printing on any of these, which I guess is okay, but other than that, they're pretty nice, and they both have alternate expressions as well. And here's what that looks like. And I also flip the hair pieces because it's LEGO, you can do whatever you want, and actually I think even like this, they don't look too bad. So it's good to be able to swap the pieces around to your liking. You can even give some of the hair pieces to the kids if you like. And the idea behind this wink is that he's holding the camera like this and he's taking a picture of everyone else. So that's a pretty nice thing to do. And yeah, I'm happy that they give us this accessory piece that we've gotten many times before, but not all kids are going to get all LEGO sets, so I'm fine with the inclusion of the camera. And this is one more of those collectible plushies. If you're collecting all of them, good luck, because LEGO, they came out with just 3 in the beginning, so they were easy to collect. Now they keep giving us more and more and more. So this is a nice inclusion. It's printed only on one side, however, but this side is done well with 3 eyes and stars. It's a very cute thing. You can imagine it as a real alien or as a plushie, as you prefer. The last point I'll make is that I do like this guy's glasses. They're very nicely printed, very well detailed, and I really appreciate that. You could use this minifigure in so many different contexts, and it's really great to get these minifigures in an Advent Calendar. Finally, we got Mr. and Mrs. Claus. These are very well-known quantities. We've seen them many times before. I think we've seen these exact figures before, or maybe something very, very similar to them. So these are nice. She gets an alternate expression right here, but he does not. So here's what that looks like. And he has a sack full of presents. She has a pretzel. I don't know why a pretzel specifically, but I guess it fits the holiday vibe. And this is the only minifigure in the set to have dual molded legs. We also got this guy, but I'm not really counting him as a minifigure, but he does have a minifigure helmet and a minifigure head with 3 eyes, and some printing around the back as well, which they did not need to do, but it's nice to get, I suppose. And you could also swap these pieces around with some of the minifigures. We also get a cat and dog. We've seen these many, many times before, but I suppose they're nice to get as well. And we also have this teddy bear, printed only on one side and not on the back. But again, it's nice to get. In terms of the builds, you can check out my shorts videos where every single day I opened one of these in the order that is shown on the box, and I gave my thoughts and details on each one, so I'm not going to repeat all that here. But I'll just say that it's a nice collection of mini builds that are very interesting, with some references to existing LEGO sets, and things that are either toys for the kids to play with, or stuff that's more for the adults to use. For example, this snow machine right here. It's very useful. It's simple in its design, but it actually works. It rolls very smooth, and you can actually put some pieces and move them around with this thing. So this thing is a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite builds of this set, besides the minifigures, of course. I do like this tray as well. It's a very simple build, but it has like some nice cookies and the red velvet cake. Yeah, that makes me want to buy a cupcake right now. So that's pretty funny as well. So you can move this around. The cat comes in this box, so it can appear as if it's looking out of it like this. So that's a quite nice look right there. Very realistic to the real life, where you basically have stuff in boxes. You take away the stuff and you leave the boxes, and then the cat is just going to go play with the box. So that's pretty nice. I like the space themed ones. I really like the color scheme. It's just one piece, but this one piece in reddish orange makes all the difference. If they added some exhaust here, that would have been nice as well, or like in a purple or pinkish color, just to give it that little extra flair. But even as it is, this is quite nice. And here's what it looks like in the hand of a minifigure. Yeah, it's like an Ultimate Collector Series version when it comes to her perspective. Yeah, it's quite funny actually. Or maybe she can hold it from this side, although I could have to add one more plate to be able to hold it like this. But you get the idea. It's a large build from a minifigure perspective. The same thing with this robot thing. I do think LEGO has made a similar build, a bit larger in one of the LEGO City Space mech sets. There was like a helper robot that looked kind of like this. So it was nice for me to build this as well. So again, I do like the color scheme and the way they did this. So that's pretty cool. I also like the LEGO truck. It just reminds me of the LEGO truck that I built last year, the LEGO delivery truck. Although I really wish they printed the LEGO logo, although probably that would have taken things out of budget, but that would have been amazing if they could actually print the LEGO logo on this red piece right here. And I like the construction bulldozer that they released earlier this summer. This is a nice rendition of it with very minimal pieces, and it does not use any Technic ugly blue pins like one of the builds from last year, so this is a win in my opinion. The other builds are okay too. I don't have any major complaints about any of them, except for these helmets that don't fit any of the minifigures except Santa because they have the alternate expression, so that did not make sense to me. So I'm not against the inclusion of helmets in general, but they should not be including helmets if none of the included minifigures can wear them. So there's a little bit of a problem right there, but hopefully LEGO addresses that for next year. But other than that nitpick, I'm very happy with this advent calendar. There's a lot more here than I first thought. Yeah, if you look at the price per piece ratio, it doesn't look too good for the price that you pay for this set at $30 US or $40 Canadian, but when you actually consider the fact that this has 7 minifigures and many of them are exclusive, including these costume kid minifigures, this space torso right here, you get half a minifigure, you get these animal molds, plus all these builds, I do think that it is worth it even at the regular retail price. And I also know that this will go on sale eventually before the end of 2025 and into early 2026 in places where it's still in stock. So if you want to get this for December 1st, I think you will be able to get it on sale and that will make it even better. So yeah, I'm very happy with this advent calendar. It's not that the other ones were terrible, but this one just makes me so much happier. And yeah, especially the minifigure quality, I think that's what makes it for me. Like the builds are good, so that's definitely not an issue. But then you add the minifigure quality on top of that, so that really takes it to the next level. The builds are smaller than in previous years, so we did get larger builds in previous years, but the minifigures were simpler. So I guess it's a trade-off in terms of what do you prefer, what do you prioritize. In terms of extra pieces, we get these, so some printed parts, but nothing super crazy. And yeah, it's a decent amount of extra pieces to get for a set of this size. So a lot of useful minifigure accessories and pieces that could be used to represent snow to be cleaned by the snow cleaner. But I'm happy with this. I think it's worth getting for your own personal collection or to give as a gift for the target audience of this set. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more amazing videos coming your way very soon.